you from getting complacent. In the Marine Corps, we say complacency kills. And putting yourself in those rooms will push you and pressure you to immediately get your shit together and level up. Like, you have no choice. It's like you need to level up. You need to step up your fucking game when you're in these rooms with killers and savages and warriors and successful and millionaires and billionaires. Like, you are forced to immediately get your shit together and level the right on the spot. Like, you have no choice. You have to. What's up, freaks? Welcome to another episode of the Steve Eckert Show podcast. And today we're going to dive deep into some life lessons that I recently had at one of our big, huge events of the year. We do a couple times a year, Operation Black Site. I'm going to dive into the personal lessons I got, and they really have nothing to do with the event itself. It's just extractions that I got from this that you can use in all areas of life, personal, professional, and your business. We're going to dive deep into that in a second. I think these are going to be useful for you. That will help you out in leveling up in all areas of your life here on the Steve Eckert Show podcast, which is a show on how to flip the switch and have a no excuses, badass mindset, guiding you to adapt, overcome, and destroy the obstacles that are preventing your success in your mindset, your family, your fitness, and your business, so you can stop being a little bitch, get your shit together, and start living life on your own freaking terms, all while you are creating your ultimate freak freedom lifestyle. And we're talking about transforming from where you are to where you want to be, need to be, and deserve to be, and learning to weaponize everything around you, everything, the failures, the victories, the obstacles, weaponizing your weaknesses. And that's what we're going to dive into in this episode, talking about Black Site. I have my Black Site shirt on. We're in the mode. We're in the mood. We're going to cruise into it and learn how to weaponize these lessons in all areas of your life. Because you should be doing that. Any experience that you're having, any event you're going to, whatever it is, you should be taking lessons out of things. Never go into something being a know-it-all or going there just for the overall broad experience. You should be going to extract the lessons, get some growth out of it. It's all to make you even freaking better. And this is what we're going to talk about when it comes to Black Site. We just finished another event a couple weeks ago, and we run it here in Southern California. It was freaking awesome. And I always go and do an AAR after every event, whether it's Black Site or the Squire program, which is a father-son program, or the Project, which is a men's personal development program we do here in California, or even my own group coaching calls each week that I do in the Freak Father Alliance, a men's mentorship group coaching program. I do an AAR, an after-action review, and I suggest you do that for every event and really every meeting, every task. You should be doing an AAR, a reflection, a debrief about what went well, what can be improved, what were the wins, the lessons, what lessons you learn, and things like that. Like, you should be debriefing and reviewing and reflecting on every experience you have, especially these bigger events like Black Site. So here's some of the main lessons that I learned or were reinforced, not necessarily learning for the first time. Sometimes you need shit as reminders to remind you of different things that you've known or experienced and maybe haven't thought of in a while. It hasn't clicked in a while, and you need that refresher. And that's what really happened. And if you don't know, Operation Black Site's a 3-day in-person event held here in California, where you're learning survival tactics and self-defense and lifestyle optimization, doing physical training, weapons training, business training, all instructed by the most elite professionals in the world in each one of those categories. So we're going to jump right into it and go into some of these lessons and these are in no specific order, but I guarantee you will find some nuggets in here that are going to help you in different areas of your own personal life, and your professional life. Now, the first one is get into rooms. Get into these rooms. Put yourself in rooms, in situations, in circumstances, or in the trenches, or even on the mats when it comes to the jiu-jitsu or grappling, fighting, or whatever. Just get into these rooms and situations and places with people that are better than you. Put yourself in groups where you're not always the strongest, not always the fastest or the richest or most skilled or the smartest or most successful. And that's going to prevent you from getting complacent. In the Marine Corps, we say complacency kills. And putting yourself in those rooms will push you and pressure you to immediately get your shit together and level up. Like, you have no choice. It's like you need to level up. You need to step up your fucking game when you're in these rooms with killers and savages and warriors and successful and millionaires and billionaires. Like, you are forced to immediately get your shit together and level the fuck up right on the spot. Like, you have no choice. You have to when you get in those rooms. And it's an awesome way to level yourself up. It's like an immediate level up. Like if it's a video game and you just got a free level up to take you to the next level, a free freaking point to go to the next stage. It's immediate. You're in those rooms. It's the proximity of a bunch of high level individuals is unbeatable. Get yourself in those kind of rooms. Stop only being around people where you feel superior. You should be around people that make you feel, I don't want to say inferior because you're not inferior to anyone, but in certain categories, you're definitely not where they are. So put yourself in those places where you are inferior in certain categories so that it's going to force you to get even fucking better in all these areas of life. So the first thing, get in the freaking rooms. Put yourself in those rooms. And by rooms, we mean situations, places, events. Sign up for some shit, get in the room and take advantage of it and weaponize that feeling, weaponize that growth, weaponize that potential that's in that room, and mostly weaponize that opportunity. Like, you're in that room. Don't waste it. Don't fucking waste it. Don't be a shy little bitch. Don't be scared and don't feel inferior, but weaponize that shit. Take advantage of it. Exploit those opportunities that come your way in those rooms. Get your ass in those rooms. All right. Then the next one is, all right, when you're in those rooms and you're in these situations or these, whatever you want to call them, events or whatever, show up with curiosity. Show up with curiosity. Now, even if you are an expert, maybe you are the top dog in some category in one of these rooms or these events or situations, show up with freaking curiosity. Show up open-minded. Listen to what other people are saying and be aware and pay attention and learn from them. Because the cues that people give, they are clues to success. Success leaves clues. You've heard it before. Show up in these events with curiosity, not with nervousness. Yeah, you might have a little edge and a little anxiety, whatever, and you're going to weaponize that also, but mostly show up with curiosity. Like, what are you going to learn from this? How can you learn something from everyone you meet? Even the people who you think are above you in a category or below you or your peers, like, learn something up and down the levels of the chain of command or the levels of success and across laterally. Like, learn from everyone you meet, show up with curiosity. Don't be a fucking know-it-all. The worst thing anyone could say is, oh, I already know that. Like, we've done events where we're doing like a kind of a warm-up or a recap in some of these events, and we're doing some basic punching or basic defense or basic footwork. But you know what? You know how many times, when do you stop? If you're a fighter, say you're training boxing for 10 years, 15 years, you know your one is your jab. When are you going to stop throwing your one? If you're a basketball player, when are you going to stop training free throws? Do you get to a point where you're so good that you no longer practice free throws? So when you go to a practice or an event or a training camp, and it's time for free throws, you're just going to check out because you've trained them for 10 or 15 years already. So I don't need to train on those. We'll get those individuals sometimes when it comes to certain self-defense tactics or striking techniques. Like, oh, I already know that. That's too much of a beginner for me. Like, you can never throw too many fucking punches. You never can practice your jab, your footwork, your defense too much. No such thing as too much. So show up with curiosity. The worst thing a man can say is, I already know that. Like, don't be that dude in the room, especially around freaking experts, and act like you know it all. You know it all. Don't do it. You're going to probably get humbled and probably end up getting your ass whooped on top of that. So show up with curiosity. And really that means open-minded, being with humble, with humility, and just open-minded. All right, next is, don't just show up with curiosity, show up prepared. Because you know what? Preparation breeds confidence. And then it also breeds even more courage. Yeah, it takes courage to step into the rooms, to show up to those rooms, to show up with the curiosity we're talking about. But if you are prepared, that's going to lead and breed even more confidence and even more courage than the courage you already took to show up there, because you're prepared. You have courage to step up into even higher level situations. Like, do your fucking homework, do your due diligence. Like in the Operation Black Side, I run the early morning workouts each day. And you know what? I show up there and sometimes there's some high level entrepreneurs or high level athletes and fighters and whatever else that show up to do the workouts. And I'm showing up there freaking prepared. I know the entire flow of the workout. I've planned it out, structured it literally step by step, from the warm up to the cool down, to the lessons, to the breakthroughs we're going to have. Like, it is broken down, and I am prepared ahead of time, exactly every step of the training session, piece by piece, like building blocks, like a Lego building blocks, building up to the masterpiece of the training session. And there's a lot more than just a training session goes into it. Goes into interaction, goes into storytelling, goes into lessons and little teaching and coaching points throughout the workout. When and where and what and how and what's the impact and that those are going to happen. Like, that's all part of the process. Showing up prepared. Prepared, again, will lead to confidence and even more freaking courage. Be prepared, do your due diligence, do your freaking homework. Next is to be prepared. If you are putting yourself in those rooms, you're showing up with curiosity and not showing up like an asshole. You're showing up prepared. That will give you the confidence and courage. To the next thing that I want to say is seize the opportunities. Whenever opportunities come your way, you need to be ready to jump on them. If you think that, all right, I'll get ready when I get that call, then it's too fucking late. When it's time to get ready, it's too late to get fucking ready. Let that make sense in your damn head. You need to already be ready. One of our core values in almost every business that I'm in is if you're always on your A game, you never have to get on your A game. Meaning if you're always prepared and ready, you never have to get prepared and ready. So then when an opportunity does come knocking on your door, you show up ready, confident, with courage, prepared like a motherfucker. Like, and when those opportunities come up, don't ever think that you're not worthy or you don't have what it takes or that you don't belong. Like, fuck that. Overcome that bullshit stories you're telling yourself in your head when those opportunities come your way. Because you know you did the due diligence. You know you've been showing up and putting yourself in those rooms. You know you've been showing up prepared and with curiosity so that you can seize these fucking opportunities. And when it comes time to it, it's just kill. Kill means just do it. Just attack. Kill those bullshit stories in your head so that you're always be ready and prepared to attack whatever freaking opportunities come your way. Again, if you're always on your A game, you never have to get on your A game. If you're always ready and prepared, you never have to get ready and prepared so that you can seize opportunities. Don't let them slip by. I can't tell you in the past how many opportunities I probably let slip by not being prepared. And we're talking decades ago, not being prepared, not being ready, or showing up with the wrong type of attitude or showing up with an ego. So you let opportunities slip by and you'd fail to seize opportunities that could have been, boom, that one move, that one step that puts you to the next level and fucking explodes your entire life and takes your life and your business and your bank account to the next freaking level. Seize those freaking opportunities. And that's going to lead us to the next one. Know yourself and what you stand for. Like if I was to ask you, what do you stand for? What are your personal values? What are your personal core values? What are your superpowers? What makes you different? What makes you unique? What makes you different and better than any other fucking human on the planet? And you have to sit and think about it and be like, oh, wow, I never really thought about it that way. You don't know yourself and you don't know what you stand for. So when that opportunity does come, you're going to back down, you're going to cower, or if you do put yourself in those uncomfortable situations, you're not going to be prepared. You're not going to show up with curiosity because you're too nervous. You're too much caught up in your own head thinking about what you really even stand for. Like, know what your frameworks are, what the life that you lead is built upon. What is the foundation, the frameworks, the formula that you operate by? How do you operate as a freaking man? Like, know yourself and what you stand for. And this gives you even more preparation and even more courage and confidence when that opportunity does come, because you know what you're about. So you have nothing to worry about. Like you don't have to worry about planning and preparing, over planning or preparing, because you already know what your frameworks are, what the fuck you stand for, what's your code, what's your beliefs, what's your way of operating. And you could talk about that shit for hours and hours and hours. And I'm gonna give you an example of this, of all this kind of combining together. So on day 2 of Operation Blocks, I think it was day 2, I just finished running the morning workout. And that's an intense workout. Again, showing up prepared. I am pouring into that, giving every bit of energy and effort and maximum effort and positive attitude into that, to that training session at Black Site in the morning. It's at, I think, a 6 a.m. workout. And we're done about 7:15 probably. And you go and eat, get hydrated, maybe fuel up or whatever. And then the speaking and teaching starts at 8. So I get there and I'm hanging out. I walk in, we had our dogs there, so we take the dogs out, play with them for a little while before we're starting the day, because it's a long day, starting at 8 a.m. I'm there, I get back to the area we're about to speak, about 7:45, 7:50, I walk in, and I'm pointed at and told, hey, you're going to be up on this Q&A panel coming up right now. It's with UFC star MMA champion Michael Chandler. It's with Tim Kennedy, the Army from the UFC, Tony Blauer, the master in the world of self-defense, and with Mike the Real Tarzan, who's got like 10 million followers on Instagram. And I'm going to go on a Q&A panel with these people. Now, these are fucking experts, celebrities, champions, special forces, operators, American heroes with millions and millions of followers. And I'm called upon within a couple of minutes. Notice that I'm going to go sit on a panel with these freaking American heroes, these awesome freaking men, and I'm going to be on a panel speaking and a Q&A panel with them. Now, an average person, an average man that doesn't know himself, doesn't show up prepared, doesn't know what the fuck he stands for, what his frameworks are, or what he is all about, doesn't have a formula or have a code, would freak out and say, oh, you know what, I'm not ready for that. Or you could say, you would show up and you would just be giving some half-ass bullshit, superficial freaking answers and interaction, and not even volunteering any additional insight or information or input when the panels is discussing different topics or whatever it is. But fuck that. This does not cause me any panic or fear or doubt or uncertainty, because I know who the fuck I am. I know what I stand for. I know my own freak code frameworks. Like, knowing yourself and being yourself is the ultimate builder of courage and confidence, because you have nothing to worry about. You should be able to talk about yourself and talk about what you believe and your thoughts and your processes and your systems for hours, for fucking days. You have nothing to worry about. It's like the ultimate preparation. Being yourself is the ultimate freaking preparation. You have nothing to think about. Know yourself, and this will help you exploit those freaking opportunities. When you know yourself and what the fuck you stand for, it allows you to answer most questions with honesty, with ease, without having to think about it or come up with some bullshit, half-ass, superficial answer. And you can hang in there with the freaking big dogs. Even if you're just some ugly little skinny white kid that no name like me can sit there and be able to sit on a panel with these fucking superstars and savages. Like, that is knowing yourself. And that's knowing what you're capable of. That's having belief and faith in yourself, knowing that you belong, not telling yourself you're not worthy, like knowing that you're worthy, knowing you have what the fuck it takes because of all these other things that we just talked about. Because you do seize opportunities, because you show up prepared, because you show up with curiosity, and you're putting yourself in these rooms. You're having the courage and confidence to even step in these rooms. And then knowing yourself and what the fuck you stand for. And then the next level of that, the next reminder, the next lesson kind of relearned during this is that you always have the you factor. Like, no one else can be you. Like, that is, I'm in a niche by myself. Like, there is no competition when it comes to being my freak self, because it just doesn't fucking exist. It's a category of one. When you are being yourself and being just straight fucking raw and unfiltered and unauthentic and unapologetically you, there is no fucking competition. You always have the you factor, and no one can copy that shit. No one could be that. No one could be you better than you. And just being your freak self, showing up as you, showing up early before anyone else with a positive attitude, giving maximum effort, being fucking bold and standing out, knowing what the fuck you stand for, being curious in other people and not just talking about yourself. Like, that is the ultimate X factor. That is the ultimate selling point that makes you not only better, maybe, but not necessarily better, but different and unique. And it makes you your freak self. Like, that is always the X factor. You have never have anything to worry about. And it kind of ties into one right before that, knowing who you are and what the hell you stand for, using that as a superpower. We're going to do an entire upcoming additional episode on your superpowers and creating your superpowers. And it all starts with you and who the fuck you are and what you stand for. It's such a deep, passionate topic that we're going to do an entire episode on that. All right. And the seventh kind of piece, the seventh lesson here is there will always be people out there that are going to resonate with you. They're going to get your message no matter how fucking weird or odd or off the wall or how much of a freak you are. You will always find your people. And at events like this, like Operation Black Site, we also just did these same lessons held true just last weekend we had the Masogi challenge, which is a yearly challenge we do. And this week coming up, we have a project meetup with all the project graduates coming up. And in all these different events, you will always find people that resonate with your fucking craziness, with your freakness. You'll always find your people. And that it ties back into all these other lessons. These are all connected. You can see this is kind of a progression of lessons here. And you just go all in on being yourself. You will attract these like-minded freaks. And you will repel the assholes that are not meant to be on this journey called life with you. Like, this is just the basics of, this is like what was on the top of my head coming out of this, like, quick reflection of this awesome event, Operation Black Site. And it really came down to knowing yourself, showing up as yourself, and letting all the rest of the pieces fucking fall into place. And everything's going to turn out exactly the way it's supposed to be. When you're showing up with a positive fucking attitude, maximum effort, extreme discipline, having some fucking fun along the way, and just being your true freak self. You're always going to, again, recapping all those now in reverse order. When you are doing that, you're always going to find your people to resonate, to connect with, to network with. That makes sense. And yeah, you'll repel. Some of those people that you're in these places will be like, shit, I've been to events where it was like 80% of the people like, who the fuck is this asshole up on stage running around like a maniac? And they were turned off by it. But you know what? The 20% that got it, they fucking got it hard and they got it strong. And those are my people. Those are the people I'm out there searching for, because there's always going to be people out there that are going to resonate with you. Because you always have that unique factor. That you factor is the unique factor, that freak factor. You always have the freak factor. And you because you know yourself and what you freaking stand for, which allows you to seize the opportunities because you show up prepared, you show up with curiosity, and you put yourselves in those rooms to start with. You see this progression here? It's like it's a magical freaking journey of just living life on your own fucking terms, creating your own personal freak freedom lifestyle, a life that you don't need a vacation from. These are the lessons that I learned really at all the events that we do, but this just happened to be the ones that popped in the head at Black Site here because there's such a high level of individual there. Like when we do the project, I'm leading most of the show there. I'm an elite instructor. I'm involved in almost every evolution. I'm there. I'm present. I'm kind of engaged and involved the entire time. I go to Black Site. I'm just kind of an assistant to these stars, to these superstars, to these savages, to these fucking heroes. So it's a whole different dynamic. That's why those lessons come in so much stronger. That's why you have to put yourselves in those rooms where you're not the strongest, fastest, smartest, richest, and most successful. That is where the fucking growth comes from. That's where you gain your fucking power to level up to the next unique freak version of yourself. And this is what we really dive deep into in the Freak Father Alliance, which is a men's mentorship group coaching program where we dive deep into the men's mindset, muscles, money, your mission, your mastery, and your meaning. This is what it's all about. I pretty much help entrepreneur fathers and men develop a no excuses mindset so they could build more muscle, make more money, have more meaning, and attack their mission to create the ideal lifestyle with time freedom for their family. So if you want information on the Freak Father Alliance, how you can get locked in with this same types of lessons on a regular basis and have someone to hold you accountable along the way literally on a daily basis. We have daily interaction with the Freak Father Alliance. Send me a message, just put a comment down below. But I want to hear about some lessons that you've also had at events you've been to, or programs you've gone to, or just different meetings you've been to. What are some of your takeaways? What are some of your golden nuggets? Some of the lessons you learned at the events and things that you've been to recently. I want to hear about it in the comments down below. And if you want information about the Freak Father Alliance, the men's mentorship program, just send me a private message or just put a comment below and I will get in touch with you. We'll jump on the phone and set up a call to help you be that unique freak version of yourself and create that ideal lifestyle that you're looking for to live life on your own freaking terms. Let's get to fucking work. And in case no one told you yet today, you are fucking awesome. No excuses.